Okay. Hey, Morgan. Hopefully you can see me, hear me. I've done this a few different times where I make videos and screen recordings. Most of the time it works. I've done them for the football coaches and stuff. So hopefully you can see this and hear this. But basically, this is your program, and just going to slowly walk through everything and make sure you have an idea on why I did what I did, and you have a better idea going into it Wednesday morning. So basically, what I did is I took the 4 days that you said you worked out. I'm going to have you do the lower body stuff on Wednesday and on Sunday. And the primary reasons for that is I didn't want to go upper Wednesday, lower Friday, upper Saturday, lower Sunday, and then you only get 1 day of rest in between your lower days. I wanted as much rest in between your lower days as possible. So that's why we're going to go Wednesday. You get off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You'll hit it Sunday. Then you get off Monday, Tuesday. So the most amount of rest possible. As for the exercises themselves, Wednesday is going to be a little bit higher in volume and a little bit harder, quote unquote, because you have more days of rest before Sunday. So I'm going to have you hit these warm-up exercises before you actually get into the workout itself. Now, you can do whatever normal warm-up you typically do when you come in. I just want you to do these specific exercises before you start the real workout, which is this strength 1 block over here, which is going to be barbell RDLs. That's going to be paired with a mobility exercise. So typically what I do is I'll put like a heavy compound movement, something that's pretty strenuous, and then I'll pair it with a mobility exercise as some active rest, active recovery to just give you something to do while you recover for that main lift. We're going to start with really high volume but lower weights. So 12 reps at 60%. What that 60% is its percent difficulty. So it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just how hard you're working out of 100, or if you wanted to break it down to something a little bit more simple, 6 out of 10. Like, it doesn't have to be anything strenuous. I just want you to get used to the movement. And we're going to do a lot of volume because we're going to increase the weight as the weeks go on. So that's kind of the theory here for a lot of these exercises. So you're going to go RDLs, these half kneeling adductor rockers, RDL, rocker, back and forth. And that's how all of these blocks work if there's 2 exercises in there. So your second block is going to be goblet squats, 12 at 60, and then this stretch. The third exercise is just a single leg hip thrust, 12 at 60. The last one, again, a superset, you're doing them back to back, is the leg extension machine that's in the gym at school. And then an eccentric calf raise, which is legitimately just, it's just a calf raise until we put tempo on it. So that's kind of the first day, the general layout. If you're confused by all of this, or like you don't know how it will look or how to operate with it, Cody's obviously very familiar with it, running summer school with me. He can help you in that regard, but it's also, some general trial and error. You get it figured out pretty quickly. As we move into days 2 and 3, these are your upper body days. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I really don't care if you do the upper days that I made. I want you to do whatever is enjoyable for you and whatever keeps you coming back to the gym. If day 2 and day 3 you want to do your circuits, that's totally cool. I would just recommend that in your circuits you just stay on the upper body and do core. And save your lower body for the 2 lower body days that I'm prescribing, because that's really going to fit the goal that we're going for. But these exercises here are pretty straightforward. It's stuff you've probably done before, or you can figure out pretty quickly from a video. I did my best to put as many videos in here as possible so you know what you're doing, because I am obviously not going to be there with you during the workouts. Okay, on to your second leg day. Same concept. I want you to do those same exercises before you actually get into the workout itself. This leg day is going to be a little bit lower in volume. So when I say volume, that literally just means sets and reps, like total amount of reps you're doing over the course of an entire session. You're going to do step ups, and then this standing hurdles, which is just a hip mobility exercise to keep your hips loose as you're going through a lot of these squatting motions. Again, just pairing something with these heavier movements. I tried my absolute best to stay away from any sort of split squat, lunge, anything where you're in really deep knee flexion or knee bend, because you said that was something that irritated you. So I'm going to try my best for these first few weeks to stay away from it until we're pretty comfortable with the program and such. Going down, barbell hip thrust. That's by itself, obviously. Into the third one, dumbbell RDL. And then paired with that is a split squat iso hold. So this is the one time I'm going to put you in the lunge position, but I'm not going to make you move. You're legitimately just going to get into that position and hold it for 15 seconds. I want you to do it just with your body weight at first and see how that feels. If you can easily do just your body weight for 15 seconds, then you're going to start to hold weight at your sides. It's that simple. The whole reason why we're just doing holds, that's a very basic progression that we'll go through where we're going to make you sit in that position for 15, 20, 25 seconds. And once you become comfortable with that and your body is adjusted to spending that much time under tension, we can start to move you dynamically up and down. And you should be in a better spot with that by the time that comes. But again, for the first few weeks here, we're just going to put you in the hold. And this is one of the exercises that's going to suck. It's going to feel like probably the longest 15 seconds of your life, especially because of your history with knee problems. But trust me, that is one of the biggest bang for our buck exercises, and that will make a lot of ground there. This last one is a fancy name that I learned it by, but it's basically just a single leg calf raise. You'll notice that I also try to leave you as many notes as possible here. So if you have questions, I try to answer them before you even have them with the note section. But obviously, feel free to contact me with any questions that you might have. I'm speed running through this just so you don't have a 20-minute video to watch. The display on your phone, or if you use an iPad at school, the display is going to look a lot different on your phone or one of the iPads at school than it does on my computer here. But it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty user friendly. The middle school kids figure it out. So, if they can figure it out, pretty much anybody can. Yeah, don't be shy. Let me know if you have any major questions. Just shoot me a text. We'll get it figured out. You'll notice in here that the movements that we're doing aren't anything like super revolutionary. They're not complex. I'm trying to make it stuff that you've probably done before. The only difference between what you've probably been doing in your circuit work and what I'm going to do with you is the rest periods. So what you're probably used to in your circuits is doing like an upper, a lower, an ab, an upper, a lower, an ab, and just constantly run, a little bit of rest, run, a little bit of rest. The only difference between that and our goals here are it's not super, super complicated. If you don't have a lot of rest time, you can't do very heavy weights. And really what you need right now is just strengthen all of your joints and muscle groups in your lower body. So what I want you to aim at is do your set of deadlifts here for the barbell, do your rockers, and then take a good minute to 2 minutes. And you're probably going to get stir crazy, like just sitting there for 1 to 2 minutes. But that's how we train for strength, is those longer rest periods, so that when you're done with your rest period, you're not going into it gasping for air. You're fully recovered. And that's kind of the difference between circuit work and strength work, is that full recovery type aspect. So it'll be a change. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you throughout that process. But this is kind of just the start. I want to get you used to the pace of it. These will probably take, even though there's not a ton of exercises here, they're probably going to take the 60 to 70 minutes that you were allocating for a workout simply because of the rest time. And that's okay. I want longer rest periods so that way when you're going into these sets, you can push pretty hard for a set of 12. And that will adjust over the weeks. So just really quickly before I end the video here, I'll kind of show you how I plan to progress things. So you'll come here, week 1, we're going to do 12, 10, 8, 6. And as we go on, the weights are just going to get heavier and heavier. And that's where we're slowly over the next few weeks going to start to build some of that strength. We're going to start with a lot of volume. And then as the weeks go on, we'll kick down the reps, kick up the weight. And that's what we'll start to see some strength gains in, as well as just the accumulation of volume over time, which is what I named it after up here. So that's kind of the general premise. Let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me text, whatever we got to do, but hopefully this helps.